approach the microphone on today. As I approach it, I hope that I can earn the right to speak into your life. Right now, we're doing a series on the triune life. We're going to talk about it just a little bit more before we go to HP plus SWRWR. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you right now for all the beloved that are listening, all the that high valued. We claim every person is high valued that is tuning in to the sound of my voice. Let your radiant light continue to unfold in their lives. Let them come into contact with like minds to strengthen one another and to learn and to exceed beyond all measure. These are the things we ask in the powerful name of Christ, and we say, amen. What's up, family? I appreciate you so much for allowing me to come in and share with you. Please don't forget that we really need you. We really need you. So don't forget to share us on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitter's not up there, but it's still Select USA TV. Don't forget to do that. All right. Let's go right to work. Today we're going to be talking about, it's going to be so good. Let me get my situation together. Today we're talking about pathways to wholeness with less resistance and resentment. We call this, or I call this, a triune surrender. A triune surrender. So let me see if I can bring my face back up on the screen right there, so I can look you in your eye and know that everything's going to be all right. All right, let me see what I can do here. What am I doing? Here. Okay, let's try this. All right, we got that. And then we're going to go to talking about the triune life. All right, so let's see if we can work that again. There we go. So we're talking about the triune life, and we have talked about I use myself as an example because so many people hear a speaker speaking and have no reference for where the content is coming. Most of the principles that I have shared on air in my entire life, I have notes for you, but most times it's without a script, not something I read in a book or memorized from a class. These are my experiences. I'm unfolding to you to tell you how I have grown and how I've matured, okay? Because the triune life is not the life of survival. We'll talk about that at another time, the difference between the two. But I can say as much as I can say right now is that survival is just what it is. It's the instinct to survive the moment, the trauma, the accident, the incident, all right? And we have to learn how to switch from survival to triune. If we stay in survival mode, that's what you call the naked grind. The naked grind. You just out there, you and your friends, you and your girls, y'all just out there doing it. But it may not necessarily be manifesting the way it would be good for you as you move forward. Most people don't understand. Eventually, you're going to move forward because time is pushing us, but it doesn't push God because time is not of his realm. This realm is filled with contaminates and contamination and all kinds of things. So the righteous in the earth, the good in the earth, but I will say the right standing in the earth, let me say it like that, they are keeping this world from imploding. Your kindness, your gentleness, your warmness, your smile, your light, your calm is causing others to be affected just as well as people are affected by the other side, your rudeness, your whatever the words you want to put in there, you being rhymes with pass. I'm just saying. But yeah, so we're talking about the pathways to wholeness. And I don't want to say the pathway to healing only because it gives light that it may be one path. What we really need in our lives is wholeness, and we can become more whole if we pay attention and are aware and mindful and and subject ourselves to fellowshipping with like minds. They may have a different faith than you. They may be a different color from you, race wise. They may be a different financial status. It doesn't matter, but be open to learn from anyone. Even a man that's doing completely wrong can tell you something good. I remember my brother used to say, "You stay here because I don't want you to get in trouble, but I'll be right back." Come on now, do you command that kind of respect where people just feel funny when they do something around you, but they know you cool and they know you ain't throwing no slinging no judgment? I don't know how I got off on that. That's for somebody out there. Whatever you do, if your light is shining in you, let it shine in the world. Because that light is not your own. You have been enlightened. You have been awakened. You have been stirred and agitated for you to come forth in kindness and warmth and pleasantness and hospitable and on and meekness. You know, I mean, we all know that you can give people a piece of your mind, and we all know that we can tell people what we think, you know what I'm saying, and put them in their place. But I need a higher you going down in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, and beyond. Why? I need that higher you to be aware that you can impact the world anywhere if you have wholeness on as your cloak, as your garment, right? When you have wholeness, you put on faith. I need some help. You know, people that don't have wholeness can't put on the armor of God like you so suggest. You know what I'm saying? The armor of God is the breastplate and the shield of faith and the sword of the spirit, on and on and on. Sometimes people have to get through some issues. And then as they're doing as they're doing the work, the inner work, then they're able to open up more and attach spiritual, oh my God, attach spiritual regimented clothing that will help enable you in the battles of life. Come on now. Faith, believing when something is not there. Hope, believing that it can be better. Faith, believing better is already come, even though better is not there, right? Patience, waiting for your situation and your circumstance to evolve into the reality that you imagine in your mind. Come on, I mean, we need you to come up a little higher. So this is wholeness. Healing would be a path here or a path there. We have multiple healings. We have multiple ways to heal ourselves. We have multiple ways where we can be healed in the congregation of those that are like-minded. But healing is a limited. It's specific. It's tactical. We want you to be whole, and if we practice wholesomeness, do y'all hear what I'm saying? If you practice wholesomeness, yeah, you got 5 or 6 healing herbs that you're eating, and you got the herbal vitamins, and you got, for y'all that are vegans, you got the vegans out there, you got the people that don't normally eat but a meal a day, if that, like me, feeding themselves, on and on and on. All these different paths of healing leads to wholeness. And so that's what I speak over you today. Wholeness, not just healing, all your healing coming under one roof of light, and the disbursement of that light by itself, whether you run in this faith or not, that faith or this faith or that faith, this intellectual prowess or that intellectual prowess, historian or atheist, whatever, that light, when it shines, it radiates, it penetrates, it makes things happen. You can be in a group of positive people, and when I say positive people, that means they aim their energy that way. They aim their efforts that way. It doesn't always mean that they're perfect and they're never negative, but they know how to channel their energy toward the brilliance of the light. I don't know why I'm on this, but somebody needs to know you are highly valued. It's not your looks, it's not your internal, it's not your mind, it's not the books you read. It is the wealth of your capacity. It's the wealth of your receptance and surrender. The more we surrender to the light, the more we become like the light. When we resist the light, when we resist and resent the light, that's where we're running into problems. You need to tell your neighbor, tell your business partner, tell your friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you are highly valued. Yes, when it comes down to the terms of our preference, remember what I said about preference. Perhaps you prefer a tall, dark man, handsome, and got money, or at least got up on his feet. But see, what you prefer is not the issue on the table. That's where self-centeredness comes in at. You just be. I always talk about that. Learn how to stop doing and start being. Be kind. Then you don't have to worry about doing something kind. Be loving. Then you don't have to worry about so much hate that you're dealing with. Be whatever you want from others. You are highly valued, out of the range of your looks, out of the range of your makeup, out of the range of what kind of job, what kind of car you drive. You're highly valued beyond this cosmos observatory environment. You are highly valued because you are breathing air you can't see, because you are thinking thoughts that are not all yours. Come on, somebody. You are highly valued. All the money of the godly and the earthly atmosphere has been betted on you, that you'll be better than the animals, that you'll be better than those that get caught in things wrong, that you'll be better than the thieves, you'll be better than the robbers. You won't judge them, but you will emerge as a being rather than a doing. And so your critical judgmentalism on the others will be retracted and pointed at yourself, because you know you can't control anyone else but you. I can't control anybody else but me. You're on the path. You're on the horizon. Embrace the light of this program. Embrace the light of any program that you decide to watch. Allow the light to penetrate the darkness of the The pathways to wholeness is less resistance and less resentment. Less resistance and less resentment. Let's talk about that. What are you resisting? You know that your natural zodiac sign points to you in the natural, and the balance of it is to add the supernatural to your natural and find a balance. For the Bible says, I proudly look, God does, he hates that. To take advantage of the poor, he hates thee. There's some things that God hates. But when you embrace that light, that enjoy, it doesn't necessarily mean you got to be of that faith or this faith. The light of God shines across all cultures, across all faiths. The light of God and the message of the light crosses all occupations, all classes. Come on, I need some help right now. They cross all boundaries of the cosmos. You can't be compared with anybody, because the emerging you that you are becoming is a being. It's a being. It's not in the action of doing. Yeah, practice the action of doing it so that now your mind believes it is so. It is so because I said so. It is so because I believe so. Wholeness. Stop resisting what's being shown to you in your natural zodiac, your stubbornness, your unwilling to forgive yourself, your blame all the time as a victim speaking or blaming those who hurt you. They did what you said. They hurt what you admitted to. We have it documented that they hurt you. It is in the files. It is in the criminal files. It is in the social files. It's in the court file. God, how many times you're going to keep filing the same papers? You have to emerge from the shackles of darkness. What you thought about yourself after that trauma, after that calamity, after that divorce, after that separation. Who are you really? Who are you really? You are highly valued outside the cosmos of what humans judge value on. Your morals may be off-centered. Your intentions may be off center. Your decision making may be off center, but you got to stop resisting the obvious. When you hear somebody, when you see 3 smiles, that's an indication, smile. When you see somebody speak to you, that's an indication, speak. Huh? If you hear somebody talking about slowing down, maybe lend the ear. Is that for me? And always ask the question, because when you bring in the light, then you have to separate the day from night in that light. I felt something push me. Y'all want to talk to me. So when you bring in the light, it has a separation. Part of it is for when you're going through the dark times, and part of it is when you're going through the light times. I felt something push me in my back. See, the light comes and divides itself to keep you when you're good and keep you when you're not so good, to furnish you when your house is empty after you've gotten deliverance from all kinds of things, or after you've given up so many different things in the natural, in the spiritual, in the soul, whatever the case may be. You need your house to be refilled. That's wholeness. Then when I moved into my place, I was given furniture because I lost everything when I came to this level. I had lost every marriage, family, money, business, everything. Even my brand new car was stolen. I lost everything. And when I moved into my place where I am right now, I remember the promise that he would provide. I remember his name, Jehovah Jireh. I remember who my parents said he was and who the Bible says he was. And for those that are not Bible believers, you all good. Your parents or your buddies or that person that was in the armed forces with you reminded you of the light, reminded you that you are highly valued, reminded you before the Zoe leaves your body, you need to embrace wholeness and stop resisting and surrender. Surrender. Some of y'all won't even cry. Some of y'all won't even tell nobody what's wrong. I'm fine and highly favored. I mean, come on. We can see right through your greeting. And by the way, as your greeting is, so will be your situation. But that depends on the internal integrity of one. If you are not honest with yourself, you can sling all the slogans you want. It won't have no effect. It'll just be words falling on deaf ears because you are not integral with yourself. You don't know yourself. You don't congratulate yourself. You're not trying to bring up yourself. You're just moping, or you're also boasting about how much you got, how much you know, who you know, how much money you got, what you done did here and there. Congratulate me on my back because I can't congratulate myself, even though what I did was then, and I need to be asking myself, what am I going to do right now? I can't even get off the screen. Spirit, soul, and body surrender. We all have something to surrender continuously into Zoe, the life of the utmost high. The air combined with the air of this cosmos leaves us. We are always improving. We are always surrendering. But some of us need to surrender some serious stuff. Some of us need to give up some serious ground here that we are protecting. I remember one time I was hurting so bad over something, and then I heard these words for those that are disciples. I heard these words, right? If you're going to live for me, you thought it was going to be easy. If you're going to live in spirit, let's say that you're not a disciple, but if you're going to live in spirit, you think it's going to be easy? If you want to improve yourself, you think it's going to be easy. Within the cosmos is resistance. I felt something push me. Within the natural atmosphere, there is resistance. Come on, look at the flower that stubbornly crawls through all kinds of soil and grit and grains, all kinds of dewness and wetness. And it pushes up. I mean, are you pushing up on a blossom of some kind? What are you going to blossom as? What are you going to turn into? A weed that chokes the life out of others? Or are you going to turn to a flower? And do you know when millions of flowers bloom together, that's what they call a beautiful sight. Stand alone blooming until others bloom with you. Come on now. And then I like what my son says, both of my sons. They say, no, and don't forget family. So what, they're not on your level. So what, they look like they're using you. Come around to having some meetings with them and come around to get some understandings that I will support you until you get on your feet. But first I have to teach you how to take these crumbs and make bread out of them. I have to teach you how you take your past and make a future out of it. I'm on fire this morning. Come on now, talk back to me. Put something in the comments for me. Subscribe right here. You don't have to be a disciple of Christ to subscribe. Yeah, that's where I come from, but I'm mindful that everybody's not on my path. And see, that's what's keeping us from learning. We're not learning from the blacks because of what we believed about black people. We're not learning from the whites because what we believed about white people. We're not learning from the Republicans because what we believe about Republicans. And we're not learning from Democrats because of what we believe about Democrats. We push our preference. We push our resistance so hard to where we drive the knowledge and the light away from us. Before you know it, we're swallowed up in darkness. You're doing things you never imagined. You're saying things you never imagined. You know, your mama didn't even talk like that. You know, your dad didn't even talk like that. You know, your big brother didn't even talk like that. But you going on, you resisting, you pushing, you push hard so everybody can see you as a hard fella. You know what I'm saying? From the street with credibility, all that. You know what I'm saying? But listen, at the end of the day, you got to go to bed with yourself. At the end of the day, in the morning, you got to wake up and you got to ask, what path am I on so I can get to wholeness? Wholeness is where it's at. Wholeness, when you know you crying for the wrong reason, I need some help. When you know that you're aching because something's still not aligned in your body. When you know you are, come on, y'all. Why you not putting no comments down there? Oh, there are some of you that watch this program and you don't comment because you don't care. You're not involved with receiving light. You just stop by the program to see what's going on. It's people that I have known for 20 years that don't even speak to me. People that I have labored with in the vineyards of light. They don't even speak to me. Do you know how hurting that is? But I have always learned from the place of a child. Fly solo until the flock of your kind is revealed. Fly solo until the flock of your kind is revealed. Learn to turn isolation into a fellowship. Yesterday I had a grilling party. My neighbor couldn't come, so I grilled by myself. I turned the night lights on. I had the music playing inside, and I grilled by myself. Come on now. Why you keep trying to make stuff happen? Surrender. Stop resisting. And on the resentment part, that's even worse. You resent what you did so bad you won't forgive yourself. And now you have a standard of yourself that you tell yourself you can't measure up to. And so you quit by words. But perhaps you don't quit by deeds. You know what I mean? You ever talked a whole bunch of crap, but you knew you weren't going to do all that? Then why are you talking that crap? Why even give that energy? Why even put that out there? I need some help. So we're talking about how much time? I might have to go into this next week. We're talking about the triune life, actually. Let me put that on the screen for you. The triune life. How to be one within yourself. I've given you my backstory of my soul and my spirit and my body. I've given you a backdrop. I've given you a backdrop of what it's like, right? What is it like? Let me get that back over here. Computer is acting crazy. What is it like to be broken? I know guys ain't talking about it. Everybody's hiding it, whatever. This is what you need to be on right here, the healing path. And there's more than one. There's a healing that we can visibly feel. There's a healing that we can visibly see with our mind's eye. There's a healing that involves what you take into your body. There's a healing with avenues and pathways on how to take the chemicals out of your body. There's so many multiple healings. It all leads to wholeness. So the HP, right? Plus surrendering without resisting and without resentment. The healing path is surrender without resistance and without resentment. And you shall be on a multiple of healing paths, healings about what you went through when you was a child. Sometimes that's the hardest work. Let me just keep it 100 with you. That is the hardest work. That is the hardest work. When you have been denied the privilege of a dignity, when you have been denied the privilege of, I'm trying to do something real quick here. Okay. Let me go back here. When you have been forbidden, oh Lord, instant screen. Okay, let's do it like this. When you have prevented from, there it is. When you have been prevented from being whole, when you have had so many people who really just never got you, then there's some healing there. And we all need it, not just the ones who went to school and have the education. It's a lot of people in the street. You know, back in the 60s and 70s, it seemed like it was an era of if you could jive with that person, you know, however it came down. I'm not talking about no drugs and all that. I'm just talking about back then. It just seemed like, you know, it was an era when if we felt that jive, if we felt that groove, you know, you would be willing to learn. And you would ask them, can I hang out with you? It was a deliberate thing, not like today where everybody wants to hang out with anybody or whatever, and they have no path and they have no direction. No, back in the day, back when I was born and in that era, it seemed like we were winding up that groove. You know what I'm saying? You could feel the energy, not just the energy, but the vibes of the individual. Especially, I'm a musician, so I know it from a musical standpoint. But then you get to know their life, like, yeah, yo, I'm having some chicken, you know, come on over. Or yo, I'm having shrimp, whatever, come on over. You know, let's kick it. You know, I ain't saying nothing about whether they do drugs. I ain't even there. I'm just talking about, I came from an era where you can feel the vibe. You can, you know, if you had a good, like my history teacher, oh my God, she set me on fire. Like my English teacher, they set me on fire for real, for real. It was like freedom taking history classes and being able to judge for yourself and to analyze, you know what I'm saying? You can learn from anyone and anybody. The light has no respecter of persons. I'm going to have to go over the rest of my stuff next week. I'm not even there. I'm stuck on surrender. Husbands surrendering to their wife. Just because you're the leader, you still can surrender. Pastors need to have circle church. Why are you standing all up in the pulpit? I remember when I was incarcerated as a child, you know, I remember church being so different, sitting in a group with guitars. And, you know, I'm talking about when I was committed, you know, when I was talking about, if you haven't, you know, heard about the story, go back into the archives. They're right there here on YouTube and right here on Facebook and right here on Haps and other places. But I remember, and I love it when that's true fellowship. See, preference kills your purpose. Like I prefer blacks over whites, or I prefer whites over blacks, or I prefer my spaghetti like my mom. That can get you in trouble in life. I prefer everything like my mom did it, like my dad did it. No, you are a being self-sufficient within yourself with the capacity from the light to embrace. Who is the light? Somebody said. I'm not even getting to a theological conversation because I'm trying to win you over to wholeness right now. Theologically, we all can debate theologically. But what are you doing about the belief and the faith that you have? You know, I have adopted a principle that I got from Moody Bible Institute. And it was a principle I think that will last for all time. Principles matter. My father was he was one of the original, real Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Stand by yourself, pull your bootstrap, all that whole language. You know what I'm saying? My father did it, left my mom debt free. Come on, I need some help, somebody. I mean, my daddy showed in his action. Now, he didn't tell us that. He didn't tell us that, but he left mom a couple of pensions, investment portfolio, never had a more. Come on now, it's in your blood. It's in your bloodline. Greatness is in your bloodline. The light's coming for you from all sides. Why are you resisting? Stop resisting. If your wife says something, you get an attitude. Open up the ears of your heart. Maybe she may not necessarily know the best method, but she loves you enough to tell you the truth. See, let me end on this right here. People don't love one another as God loves them. You got to see that person through God's eyes. Do you know the torment it takes to let go of your conditioned love and your conditioned preference, and then allow yourselves to go into a neutral and further drawn to the light of how, and imagine how God, or how the earth, we're supreme beings in the earth. That's why they say climate change is now. We're the guilty ones here, all of us. And we have been swept into this big storm, this big sewage of consuming and burning all the fuels and using so much electricity and on and on and on, that we have damaged the earth. And some people are making it where they can go to another planet, and populate that. Come on, y'all. We could learn from anything. We could learn from anyone. We should be ever becoming. It's not in your doing. The doing is the practice for the being. And I don't care how much words you know, for those who are disciples. I don't know how much Bible you know. Do you know I went to Bible school as a middle schooler because I admired my dad going? I was allowed as a middle school student to observe. And then I went while I was in high school to observe. I was too young to sign up for classes. And all my teachers are dead. Like, come on, somebody. I wanted that light. I wanted to know, how do you do this? Or how do you do that? That's the wholeness. When you feel yourself starting to ask questions and you start asking the right people, you begin to get simplicity answers to things that seem so complicated, because when light comes in, it does not complicate the issue. Every good thing was made for you. So what? You've had a taste of bad things. My time is running out. You've had your taste of bad things. But you were made for good things. You were made for the best. Come on now. You were made for the best. You were made for the best. Got to bring my closing music, else I'll never close. But you were made to have the best, to be the best. Come on now. I'm not talking about your weight. I'm not talking about your degrees. I'm not talking about your knowledge. I'm talking about your willingness to surrender to light. Your willingness to surrender to the light that's revealed. A lot of people know the Bible, but they have no spirit. My principle stands. My principle stands. Principle is good, but people are gooder. Because without the people to practice the principle, guess what? We're alone. We're alone. Not that we're called to all be evangelists, but we're evangelists by default, because we tell each other what we believe, what we value, what we want, what we're tired of, what we're sick of. So I did a show one time called Your Campaign for More for Life. That is a great show. It's in the archives at Select USA TV online, that word together. But that was a great, oh man, when I got done with that series, I was supercharged, because I'm the campaign. My light is the campaign manager. I felt something push me. My light is the campaign manager, no matter what I prefer. And I do have my own preferences, but the light is my campaign manager. What are your talking points for your campaign for more for life? I'm running over a little bit. What is your conversation? What are your talking points? What have you worked out that now is I don't need to spin this because it is what it is. Come on now. Talk to me. Put something in my tweets. Twitter, at Select USA TV. Come on. What are you talking for? Who's your campaign manager? Huh? And who's on your team? Because we could shine better, y'all. Meaning we could do better, and there will be better. Because the doing will change from doing to being. Man, that's all the time I got. I gotta go. For real, for real. Whatever you do, follow us right there on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah. LinkedIn, Marcus Select, right there on LinkedIn. Also on Instagram, Facebook, as I said, Twitter. I appreciate y'all. That's my time, y'all. Peace, love, and happiness.